Hey, future Wildcat chemists. My name is Mrs. Sixta. I teach regular chemistry, also known as general chemistry, honors chemistry, and AP chemistry. And if you're watching this video, you're probably trying to make that crazy decision of which chemistry class should I take? Well, in terms of all of my chemistry classes, I have four main priorities, and one of them is to translate the language of chemistry. So all the big fancy complex terms that we use, being able to break it down in ways that everybody can understand. Also, because chemistry is connected to the real world, we want to be able to relate what we're learning in class to what we see around us, because chemistry is everywhere, and when we understand it a little bit better, we can just change how we see the world, and I think it's really cool. Seeing chemistry in everyday life, as I mentioned, because every single day you interact with many, many elements in the periodic table, and I get kind of excited about making those connections. And the other priority I have is experiencing chemistry hands-on, because what's chemistry without getting into the lab and dealing with chemicals and fire and all of that cool stuff? So regardless of the level of chemistry you choose to take, you will be able to have those experiences. The difference between general chemistry and honors chemistry, both are first-year chemistry courses, so this is where you would start. I start out every day, we keep a chemistry journal. In general chemistry, we start every day with an element of the day video, which is one of the ways that I connect the elements to your everyday life. We also will do lots of lab activities. We do what I call guided inquiry labs, so that means that you have some straightforward procedure, but sometimes it's a little bit more explorative, I think that's the word, and you get more structure. So you're filling out worksheets and things that I give you as a guide to the lab activity and what data you need to be collecting. We do a lot of small group activities where you're working in a small group of maybe 2 to 3 students, sometimes 4, to uncover new concepts and to try to make connections between different chemistry ideas. We'll do little checkpoint quizzes every unit to see if you're understanding the material before we have tests every unit. Big differences between Gen Chem and Honors Chem is while we cover the same material, Honors Chem covers more and we do it faster. I do still have Honors Chemistry students keep a journal. We will start every day with an element of the day. We also have a daily question which sort of informs our lecture for the day. And we don't lecture every day, just a lot of days. And in honors chemistry, you're expected to keep a formal lab notebook. So the structure of labs is not filling out a worksheet, it's creating an actual lab notebook that includes objectives, hypothesis. You have to write out your own procedure. Sometimes that's given to you and you're just restating it. Other times you have to design your own. You are creating your data tables and you're doing really in-depth error analysis and conclusions. And this is something that would be similar to what you might see in industry or definitely at the college level, is this formal lab notebook. And it's something that we continue on in AP. In Honors Chem, you're also given a textbook and you're expected to do independent reading assignments on your own to prepare you for the discussions that we have in class. We also do checkpoint quizzes in Honors Chemistry, but the major difference in assessment is that Honors Chemistry takes 1 test a quarter. This is to model that college-type atmosphere where your grade kind of rides mostly on lab reports and these big tests at the end of quarter. The goal of Honors Chem is to prepare you if you choose to take Advanced Placement Chemistry or AP Chem. This is a second-year Chem course, and it's the goal of this class is to prepare you for the AP Chem exam, which is usually the first week in May. And when you take the AP exam, if you score, I believe it's a 3, 4, or 5, you can earn different amounts of college credit in terms of general chemistry lecture and lab credit as well. And the requirement of maintaining a formal lab notebook continues. Same idea as honors chemistry, so it's a really smooth transition. If you think you want to take AP Chem and get college credit, you definitely want to start out in honors chem. Instead of textbook readings assignments, there are digital lecture assignments that are available on our website called AP Classroom. Those are done by seasoned AP teachers who have been doing this way longer than I have, and the job of, I guess your job, is to watch those videos to get an idea for what we're going to be talking about in class the next day. Class focuses mostly on what I call I do, we do, you do practice. We model different problem-solving techniques, particle diagramming. We do it together. You do it in small groups, and we go over answers, and we're doing a lot of collaborative work every single day. It's imperative that you spend that time outside of class watching those lecture assignments before you come to class to try to work those problems. We do what we call personal progress checks, or PPCs, in AP Classroom, which are to see how you're doing on the units as we go. There are 9 major units in AP Chemistry. We do have a test at the end of every single unit to see how you're doing, but those tests, because of the nature of chemistry, tend to be cumulative. So everything that we've learned is fair game as we move forward on those tests. For AP Chem, I asked my students for some feedback. This is my first year teaching AP Chemistry, although I've been teaching chemistry at different levels for 12 years, so it's my first time kind of going the step up. I took AP Chemistry as a student myself, so I know what it's like to be in that situation. So I asked them how much time they spent outside of class doing work, and they said the average was about 4 to 6 hours a week. That's not, you know, I guess daily, but it is a decent chunk of work, and sometimes that level would be higher if we had a formal lab report due, or if there was a personal progress check to summarize the unit. They said that some of their favorite parts of class are actually doing labs. You get to work with a lot of more high-level chemicals and do different techniques with more expensive instruments that you don't get a chance to work with in general chemistry or honors chemistry. So they really enjoy doing the labs. They would say that probably the most tedious part of class would be the lab write-ups, that those could take a long time with a detailed error analysis and conclusion. And that, obviously tests, who likes taking a test? But in AP Chemistry, I should note that your grade is only based on lab reports and tests. One thing they said they wish they knew before taking the class was they wish they had memorized their polyatomic ions. So those of you in Honors Chem watching this to see if you wanted to take AP Chem, make sure you brush up on those polyatomics if you choose to do that. They said that they wish they had better understood dimensional analysis, which is something that we learn in both levels of chemistry in that first year Gen Chem or Honors Chem course. They also said to not wait a year in between chemistry courses. So generally you will take some level of first year chemistry as a sophomore. I have most of my students take AP Chem as juniors. I did have one student who decided to wait a year and then took AP Chem as a senior, and they said they don't recommend it because it's a continuation of everything we learn in honors chemistry, but we go harder and faster and more in depth. So making sure you have that solid background and you can remember it is really key for being successful in AP Chem. So don't wait a year if you think you want to take AP Chem. Transferring skills from honors is really important. So making sure that you're spending the time, if you're currently in Honors Chem, to make sure that you're understanding things as we're going and getting additional help or resources if you're not. And I have some students that say that this is probably going to serve them very well for going into a career possibly in the medical field, or if you think you're going to need to take high-level chemistry at the college level, that AP is a great option. And many of them said it's not as scary as they thought it was going to be. I try really hard to make sure that you're getting the interactions and the experiences that you need to prepare yourself. Now, I can't speak to AP test scores as some of the other teachers and videos you could be watching are, and that's because this is my first year teaching it, so I haven't had any of my students take the EP test, but fingers crossed everything goes well, and then we'll kind of pick up and make it better for next year. So I hope this information has been helpful for you as you're making the great weighted course decision of which class to take. If you have other questions, feel free to come have a chat with me. I'm in room 235 here at DeSoto High School. You can email me at lsixta@usd232.org, or you can give me a call. My phone extension is 2758, and I would love to give you any more guidance that you would need about which chemistry course to take. Thanks for watching.